Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Angelica. Thank you for joining me and please consider subscribing if you want to be up to date with my latest DIY project. So today I'm coming to you with few DIY Easter home decoration projects. Easter is just in few weeks time and I really like decorating my home for different occasions or seasons, so there's no exception with the Easter. I will be working mainly with two of my latest favorite products, which are air dry clay and cement. So if you are looking for some ideas for handmade Easter home decorations, I hope this video will inspire you to create some. And without any further ado, let's jump right into the first product. As a mold for my clay eggs tray, I will be using empty egg carton box. There is of course few different shapes and sizes of these boxes, but any will work as fine. It only depends what size of clay tray you want to achieve. I start with cutting the side and the lid out. As you can see now, the middle parts of the box are sticking out much more than the rest. To make it to the same height, I take knife and cut them off. I use knife with locks, so it's much easier to cut. After it's all nicely cut and even, I take my Dust air dry clay. That's the clay I usually use in my project. I take quite a big amount and start kneading it between my hands. Then I take my rolling pin and roll it out to the same thickness. You can make your tray as big as you want. Just think of the final result and how you want your edges to look like. I roughly measure the size of clay I need and then cut it out. I place the clay on the top of my carton box, cut out the excess clay and start giving the wanted shape to this clay. At first, I really thought it would be so easy, just put it on the top, press it and it's ready. Surprisingly, it takes much more than this. I was doing small parts at the time, making sure the clay fits perfectly into this box. Because of my long nails, which were making holes in the clay, I started using sponge and tissue for pressing the clay down. But if you make some unwanted holes or tears, don't worry, everything can be fixed. In some places there was too much clay, so I had to cut it out and smooth it. You just have to visualize the final effect and work on the soft clay to achieve it. It's much easier to work on some imperfection now rather than when the clay is dry. So I try to fill all the gaps, cut the excess clay and smooth out the whole surface. And once you are happy with it, leave the whole construction like this till fully dry. After 2 days, my tray was fully dry and I could start decorating it. I slightly pressed the carton from each side and let the clay tray come off. I used sanding paper to smooth out all the edges and any imperfections. Then I take white acrylic paint and cover my whole tray. Even the clay is white, I wanted to achieve more like a brilliant white more than off-white. This step you can of course adjust to your preferences and wills. I needed 2 layers for better coverage. To make it more interesting, I decided to create this splash brush effect using black paint. If you want, you can always protect it with any kind of varnish. I usually use Mod Podge in gloss or matte. Now it's time to decorate some eggs for my new tray. I've got this red egg dye ready and 3 boiled white eggs. I really want to achieve more pink color than red, so I'm only dipping my eggs for a few seconds in this dye. Once they are colored and dry, it's time to add some gold on them. It's super easy technique, but I love the final result. I'm using Mod Podge and I'm applying it in a small section on my egg. Then I take the metallic flakes and put it on the top of the glue. Press it down so it sticks nicely. I do small parts at a time as Mod Podge dries out so quick. Once the egg is covered in gold flakes, I take a dry paintbrush and brush off the excess flakes. It's almost the same process like a gilt framing. I'm super happy with both of these projects. Tray creates great decoration for the table and it's also useful. Gilded eggs are so chic and I might add in on different colors of dye as well. For this project, I will be using plastic eggs, which you can open in half. I've bought mine in Poland, but I'm sure you can find something similar in any shop at the moment. On the bottom, I've placed some blue tack, and there is two reasons for that. First, to cover the small holes at the bottom. Second, to create flat bottom so the candle will be able to stand. And at the top of the second part, I've created a hole. I just cut it out with the knife. I start with mixing my cement with water. There is few different types you can use: cement on its own, cement mixed with sand, ready mix cement. I mix it well to achieve quite thick consistency. Before putting cement to my egg-shaped toy, I spray them with oil. I make sure the walls are fully covered. It will help removing the dry cement from the mold later on. Then I start putting the mixture to the bottom part of the egg. As you can see, I keep the mold on the angle and don't smooth the top layer. Once I put the wax on top of it, it will make the whole construction much stronger and the wax will stick much better. Then I take the wick and place it halfway down in the center. And in this position, I leave them for 1 day to harden. Next day, they are dry and hard. I place the top part of my egg back on, making sure it's nicely closed. Then I take electric tape and I go with it around the connecting place a couple of times, just to make sure everything is tight and there won't be any leaks. I melt my wax and then start pouring it slowly to my eggs up to the top. Once everything is dry and hard, I can start removing the tape and the whole plastic mold. I just squeeze it slightly from each side and turn to separate two parts. And for the bottom part, I've used some small tool to push it out. As you can see, I've created the big version of it as well, but this one was kind of a disaster as I've poured the cement over the wax and it didn't stick very well together. So remember, cement goes first, let it harden and then pour the wax over it and everything sticks together nicely. As I really like the cement effect on the candle and I had some left, I've decided to create cement bunnies. This time as a mold I will be using normal eggshells. First of all, we have to remove the interior of the egg and have it empty inside. I place the egg in the carton container with the more pointy part up. I'm going to use pin and hammer to create little holes for the wire ears. On this side, I will create 3 holes in the row. Hold your egg in one position and tap slightly with the hammer. And this way I've created 3 small holes. I've turned my egg upside down and create one big hole so I will be able to remove what's inside and then fill it with cement. Now the egg shells are empty and clean. I take thin wire, cut small piece of it and push its ends through the holes. I bend each of the ends so it will stay more secured once the cement is inside. You don't have to worry about the shape of the ears at the moment, as this can be changed later on. Just make sure they are long enough. Once the second ear is in, I take small pieces of tape and tape it around the wires to the egg shell. It will help the wires to stay in one place and also cover the holes. I place it upside down and now I'm going to fill it with the cement mixture. I recommend making it more runny than I did. Once the egg is filled up to the top, I tap it slightly from each side, making sure the cement fills all the space inside. After 1 day, cement was hard and I could start peeling the egg. I recommend to use some knife to do it if you don't want to break your nails. For the ears, I decided to add some cotton cord around them just to break the rough look of cement and metal wire. I make small knot at the bottom and go around covering the whole ears. To give it cuter look, I drew bunny face with Sharpie. I think it looks so adorable and unique. This little face makes me smile and I think it creates really nice decoration for your shelves or table. So let me know in the comment section which of this project was your favorite one, and if you like them, please click the like button. It helps the channel growing and I also know that you enjoy it. And if you like working with air dry clay, I created separate playlist with all my air dry clay projects, so I will leave the link for it in my description box, but it will also be shown at the end of this video. And for now, thank you so much for watching, your support, and I will see you in my next video.